Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. The Mahogany ladies have reassembled. It's been a while. That's very telling, but we are here. Our fearless leader, Anne, is here. Welcome back to the Mahogany crew, Anne.
Yeah, so glad to be back. Hi, everyone.
Dory, our team here is reassembled. Welcome back. We're glad to have you.
Hi, thank you. Very excited to gather.
Yes, Dory, the mother of Zero, and Jazzy, the mother of our nephew, Miko, who's always getting in trouble. Welcome back, Jazzy, to the Mahogany's crew.
I miss y'all so much. Y'all don't understand. Even with our chats, I miss being recording with you ladies. And Miko says hi while he learned how to scale refrigerators and 6-foot cabinets now.
I love
My sister has when my grandmother passed away, my mom and her siblings were like, you move into the house, because my sister is like one of the world's strongest moms. Like, she has my niece, and then my little nephew has cerebral palsy, and they're like, you need a break. Like, you move in there. Well, it came with cats. Okay, my grandmother was like Snow White. She fed all the little critters that ran around the neighborhood. And so she's like become a cat mom. And it's the cutest thing. They live outside, and she swears they're not her cats. Yet she's at the grocery store every other day buying cat food.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Very relaxed.
But, I'm glad that we're here. I was thinking about this last night as I was watching the movie. I was like, man, like, it sucks. Like, when's the last time I don't even know the last movie we recorded about as the Mahogany crew, because when's the last time that we really had a movie to even talk about? So it's kind of sad. Hallmark, if you're listening, can we do better? Can we do better?
Please.
I think it was Christmas. I think it was Meet Me Last Christmas.
It's a Netflix movie, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't even a Hallmark movie. It was Netflix. That's right. The Christina Milian.
That's a damn shame.
Dory, the queen with all the feels.
Ho, ho, ho. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/Hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
Okay, so we are here talking Hearts Around the Table, SHARI'S Second Act. So this is all stuff that we found from the internet, listeners. So Hearts Around the Table is a movie franchise featuring a family of foster siblings who, after growing up, continue to reunite for Sunday dinner at their foster mother's home. SHARI'S Second Act is movie 2, and Shari has just moved back to DC after a breakup and hopes to start painting again. Inspiration hits when she meets Evan, a repairman who winds up being a gallery owner. So first off, we've shared what the online summary is about. I wanted to ask you ladies, in a nutshell, what would you say the movie is about? Do you think it's finding love, moving on, new chapters, family? What would you say it's about? Let's start with Anne, our fearless leader.
I would say it's about new chapters. And, luckily has this wonderful family who's supporting her in her new chapters, and she moved home for this kind of second act. And I think she just happens to meet somebody as she's literally just starting a new chapter in her life.
Perfect. Dory, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's about fresh starts and starting over. And I also think, the series as a whole is really about found family, which is really sweet. I think it's really sweet how this series has come together.
Did you watch movie one, Dory?
I watched movie one after I watched this one because I was
Okay.
like, I need to know the origin story.
I do too.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I watched
Do you
the
get
first
that in movie one?
A little bit. Yeah, you get it more than in the second movie for sure.
Okay. And Jazzy?
For me, I would say definitely a new beginning, a new start. Either it's like, leaving the past behind. But I definitely agree with Dory. I definitely need to watch the first movie because after watching the second one, I'm invested in the first one. And even with the characters itself, I sat here like, wow, this is amazing. It's up my alley. And there's some gems in this movie, y'all. If there's gems in the second movie and the first movie, I know the third and fourth movie are going to have amazing gems. And kudos to Hallmark. Thank you.
I agree. I think it's like transitioning into new chapter, new opportunities. It is kind of like you get this sense of newness and like the kind of fear, like the hesitancy a little bit with moving into the new chapter. But yeah, it I think that they did a good job with kind of like staying on theme when it comes to that for sure. Question 2 for you ladies. What did you think of the movie? So Jazzy, you watched it first, so we'll start with you. Tell us what you think.
I'll have to put this out, say this off the bat. I have my list of Hallmarky hunks, like I do, my top fives, those lists. But never
Antonio's
in the
always
history
one.
of, there's always one, but never in the history of a Hallmark film that I drooled over a leading man within the first 5 minutes of the movie shooketh and sat here like,
He does look like a Ken doll. Like he needs to be a Barbie.
Yeah,
y'all.
he does.
Brandon, if you're listening, I just need to know. There's an apological question for all the Hallmarkies out there. How much do you print? How much do you bench press? I just need to know because I just need to know. Ladies, you'll thank me later. I just need to know because I did listen to your interview with Rachel. Rachel, we'll talk later because where was I at when this happened?
Oh my
And
gosh.
two,
Rachel, please leave all of this in. Don't cut any of this out. I don't know why she lets us do this.
hey, we love the commentary. I'm just saying, but definitely check out that interview. It was amazing, by the way. Rachel, you did your thing, but I could have been there too. We are a perfect match. just saying. I'm just saying. But overall, the leading actors, definitely watch this because the actors in this movie, even in the whole entire series, you would know these actors. Like we've seen Michelle Morgan in our last Mahogany Christmas movie. We've seen even Brandon. Like he was in a couple movies, like maybe Last Christmas, which I'm trying to remember where in the scene. He was in the Second Chance on Own, which was a great movie, by the way. Like we even have like our, let me put the list up real quick, you guys, because I actually put the list of
Davis.
yes. Okay, you cannot forget. Okay, you even got who else we got in here? We even got Jake Espy. Okay, that is Craig Manning. Okay, the grass is there. Stand up. You know
We've
what
got
it is.
Natalie from Facts of Life. The
Yes.
Facts of Life.
Yes, and I think it's a great home to this because the fact that like for her character in the Facts of Life, she now is like the Mrs. Jean of this house.
Exactly.
I
Yes.
love
That was
this
really
turnaround. I
cool.
love this. And we had like you had Catherine Davis, she was in the Valentine's Day movie. And then Ashley Newberg, I know she's in other movies. I just can't put my finger on it, but I've seen her in other movies. But I just love everything about this. I love the new beginning. I love falling back into your passion and just the chemistry. I'm just here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I am really excited to watch the next two. I thought the brother was hilarious, and I think Catherine, I mean, it's if Catherine's gonna be in it, I'm gonna watch it. And hers is last. So I'm really interested to see kind of where all of it goes. Dory, what did you think?
I was pleasantly surprised by this. And
Dory. No,
yeah.
I had thoughts, and I thought we were going to be on the same page.
No, I was pleasantly surprised by this one. I think for me, there was a lot that I liked, but I also think that I was just starved for one of these movies featuring us.
Yeah, it's true.
So I think that I gave it a lot of grace because there were a lot of things I noticed that I didn't necessarily love, kind of plot wise. But I think overall I enjoyed it. I was pleasantly surprised. I watched it with my mom. She enjoyed it. So interested to hear what you all have to say.
Anne, what did you think?
I'm kind of with Dory because I think my expectation was very, very low.
So was mine, Anne. Mine was like under the floor. So I was shocked.
Not under the floor.
Especially because a lot of these movies or these little like series are not very good.
Mhm.
So my expectation was very low. So I was pleasantly surprised. I really liked most of the movie until like the conflict. I really liked like everything before that. I really liked. That was the part I didn't like was the conflict. But before that, I really liked everything. I thought their chemistry was, pretty good. I mean, they're both obviously beautiful. I really loved all the like family, aspects. I really felt like they were a family. They had like family chemistry. And I just thought that, their whole foster family was just really sweet. I like found myself to be like moved and I was like, wow, this is really nice to see this. So yeah, I think, my like expectations were very low. So I was pleasantly surprised. It's the thing about expectations. It's nice when they're low because then you can mostly go up usually. Yeah, I definitely, didn't think it was going to be, didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did. So, yeah.
What did you think, Bree? Dying to know your thoughts.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so I'm like y'all. I was like, well, it's been a minute, and I'm like, I don't want to watch it, and I have a hard time. I feel like just me in general, everything that I consume, I'm usually watching it critically first. I'm thinking about it, like, I'm thinking about it in that way. It's hard for me to like just watch something just to have fun with it, unless I'm rewatching The Mummy for the 1000th time. At this point, I know everything. So I was like, I just want to watch this because we have not had a Black movie in so long.
Yeah.
And so I went into it very much the same, like just show it some grace, just watch the movie and enjoy it. And I think I'm torn because on one end, I think it's really light and airy and breezy and easy to go down. But at the same time, I felt like nothing really happened. Like I feel like, and I want to hear, Anne, your point on conflict. And then Dory, you said there were parts of it that you didn't like plot wise. And I think that's where I'm stuck at. I'm just like, is it a romance? Is it more of like a women's fiction type story where it's more about her moving on? Because I feel like I loved that it goes back to a conversation we had a long time ago where we were talking about how they should do more actual series. I would have loved to see this be an actual series because Sherry's movie felt really rushed for me. And I didn't feel like there was a lot of conflict. And as like somebody that's trying to write, I know like if you don't have conflict, then people aren't going to want to watch the movie or they're not going to want to read the story. And so it's just felt like she has this conversation with Catherine Davis. She says something, and then all of a sudden she's like mean to the guy. And it just felt so like, where did this come from? Because we need to throw some conflict in here. Like, oh, we forgot we got to put a dark moment in there. And it like, let's just throw that in there. Like, that's what it felt like for me. I don't know.
No, I agree about the conflict. It felt shoehorned in like.
Was that the part you were talking about, Anne?
Yeah, that's the part I was talking about is that, Catherine's character says something, and then all of a sudden she's like trying to back away from him so much. And then, let me just tell you, guys don't know anything. They're dumb. Okay. They're dumb. So you communicated something, but then you kind of went back on what you communicated to him, and he's trying to listen to you. But yeah, he's confused because what you said, he's actually trying to listen to you, which isn't something men do. And then now you're like, but I don't want you to back away. But he's telling you, it was just, I didn't like that.
And then let's go paint together.
Yeah. And then it was just kind of, that was like a fumble to me, was the conflict was fumbled. I didn't like the way it happened.
For Evan.
So yeah, I do understand that was, not done well.
What part were you talking about, Dory? Was it that part or another one?
Yes, I was talking about that part. I mean, I just think the conflict in general in this movie was kind of laughable, but that's fine. I was like, I'll just let it wash over me. Because didn't he do the same thing too? Like, she said something and then he got kind of cold and was avoiding her. So I didn't love that from either of them. I also felt like the movie felt long to me, and I just think there was a point I looked at my watch and I was like, oh, there's still an hour left. I wasn't mad about it, but I was just kind of like, oh, this is kind of...
The pacing's a little off.
Yeah, the pacing's a little off. And then, even though the movie felt slow to me, their rush to saying I love you
I hated that.
Was crazy, because they've known each other for a week or whatever. Like, this isn't a lot of times when they have that, they're ending the movie with an I love you, it's typically a couple who it's a second chance. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So these people did not know each other. And after a week, and she has just gone through a divorce, and after a week, they're like, I love you. When the whole thing felt kind of slow, and they spent quite a bit of time kind of figuring out how they felt about each other and being kind of cold to each other. The pacing of all of that just felt off to me.
It was off. When they were standing in that kitchen talking about some I love you, I said, didn't we just meet?
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Right. Like, has it been 2 weeks? What are we talking about here?
You literally, one of the things that she said, one of the quotes that I wrote down, she said, this was the first moment. Like, I watched it last night when I got home from work and I was really tired, but every now and again, like we talked about before we hit record, like this movie has some quotes, like it has some gems, like Jazzy said. She says, I just don't know. At one point, I don't think I wrote it down specifically. She says, I don't think I know what to do anymore. Like, I just don't trust myself anymore. And I was like, I have literally said that to my sister and my friend. Like, I just don't know what I'm doing. Clearly, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. So I'm like, how do you go from that to I love you in the kitchen?
that didn't make any sense. That last 40 hour, last minute, I was like, how do we just go from we're not even sure you're staying here, what we're doing, to I love you? I'm like, no, that was 40% to 200% in 1 minute. That's not, no.
And why
they didn't need to do that?
And that we can just be given the painting away.
Yeah.
She just took the painting off the wall.
That's what I said too. I was like, why did she just take that painting? Didn't say anything to anybody. Just absconded with the painting.
I would got whooped for that.
Right.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp. Give online therapy a try at betterhelp.com/hallmarkies and get on your way to being your best self. Anyone who listens to this podcast knows that I am a big advocate for mental health care and getting the help you need for your life. Let's talk numbers. Traditional in-person therapy can cost anywhere from $100 to $250 per session, which adds up fast. But with BetterHelp online therapy, you can save on average of up to 50% per session. I know, especially when I was going through a tough time in my late 20s, having somebody to talk to about what I was experiencing and to help me to be able to process it was very, very, very helpful. And that's what you can benefit from with
BetterHelp. You can join a session with the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life, plus switch therapists at any time. So visit betterhelp.com/hallmarkies today to get 10% off your first month. betterhelp.com/hallmarkies.
Let's start with Anne. Anne, did you have a favorite moment or part in the movie?
My favorite moments were just the moments with her family, like where she was either just laughing with her family, or like her foster mom was just like talking with her, or her and Catherine were just cutting it up at the pizza truck, or just like the family moments. I think those were more my favorite than the romantic moments, just because I like the way the family kind of was in this movie.
No, I'm not saying that you can't be a pizza truck owner and not rock some hills, but I was like, Catherine, if you're standing in this pizza truck making pizzas for people, I'm going to need you to have some sneakers on, some slides, some nice, comfortable flats.
You wear something flat. Yeah,
I mean, all of their clothes were doing a lot, because also I'm like, girl, I'm like, Sherry, why are you painting in like the most beautiful outfit I've ever seen in my life? Not a drop of paint on it, no apron, no smock.
No apron.
Hair's not up in a ponytail.
Heels on. I'm just like, what artist? What artist?
That's a big faith right there.
Does that?
It's the Hallmark faith right there, y'all.
That's the Hallmark
for sure.
Dory, favorite moment or favorite part?
I loved the beginning of this movie when she's moving home and they all act like they forgot to come pick her up at the airport, and everyone was saying like, I thought, so-and-so was going to get you. I thought so-and-so was going to get you. And it just was delightful family chaos at the beginning of the movie. And then it turns out that, of course, they didn't forget her. They were all at the airport waiting for her with signs. I just thought it was so cute. So I really loved that. And I also genuinely liked watching her kind of come into her own with her art and paint. I loved all of that. I thought it was really kind of like symbolic of her chasing a dream and building confidence. And I really appreciated that in the movie. I also thought that the writing was pretty strong in a lot of places, like both you, Bree, and Jazz were saying. There were so many quotes that were just beautiful and just really spoke to me. So I really enjoyed that too. I also love that it's set in DC, because have I ever told y'all, DC for me feels like the city that got away for me. I have almost moved there multiple times.
Oh, wow.
Really?
So, yes, like at least 2 or 3 times I have almost moved there. So it's always kind of in my mind, like, should I go? So I just loved seeing a movie set there. It, of course, made me, I got the bug, and I'm like, ooh, should I move there? Is it time? Is now the time? So yeah, personally, I just liked that too.
And that's why she's our, princess of all the feels. The city that got away, Dory.
It's the city that got away.
Now my heart.
That's a beautiful story to write.
I know, Dory.
I know. It's the city that got away. I'm telling you, it feels like the one that got away. Because I will sometimes sit and think, what would life have been like if I had chosen to go there instead of LA, which was essentially the choice?
That would have been a much longer drive.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I think about it from time to time. And then whenever I see a movie or a show set in this, you can't help but then be like, oh, I think it's a sign,
There's still time, Dory. You still have time.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely not off the list of possibilities for sure. And what's funny is that my best friend, who I grew up with, she feels the same way about DC, and she has almost moved there multiple times as well. And so we just a couple weeks ago had dinner and we're talking about, because we're both now in Cleveland, which is where we grew up, and we both were talking about how that is like the city that got away. We both almost lived there multiple times. So yeah, the movie made me feel a little wistful and nostalgic.
Is Cleveland and like, are y'all okay? Because I know it's tornado season and Tornado Alley has been getting hit up. Are y'all in Tornado Alley?
We are like right at the top of that system that's moving through. So we haven't had any tornadoes, but we have had and will continue to have heavy rain, thunderstorms, all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
But it has been cloudy and ominous all day today. It looks like Sleepy Hollow up in here. It's like foggy, hazy.
Talk about the show that got away.
The show that got away.
Sorry. I just wanted to ask. Jazzy, favorite moment, favorite part?
What is my favorite moment, favorite part? We'll forever have an honorable mention of, like, Brandon Morgan. Like, he'll be the forever honorable mention. But seriousness, I do love the fact that I love their meet cute. First of all, like when they're on the phone, like her not even knowing, kind of like the blind date situation. Like, who are you? Like, I don't know. Like, until she meets him at first, like, wait, you were the guy? Like,
yeah, it started off very rom-com.
Yeah, very rom-com, which I love that, by the way. And also, I love the paint moment when Evan was when Evan took Sherry to paint night with the grandmother, and just seeing the grandmother light up and just, you're gonna sit here today, you're gonna paint today, I don't care. I love that scene because they got to see their artistic side. Like, she has this funny side and she has like this serious side, but they both complement each other on that same thing. So and seeing the grandmother just light up, it's just like, oh, like she's trying to play matchmaker, do her painting life. So I'm like, oh. But most of all, I do love just the chemistry between like the Foster family. Like, they became family. I just love that dynamic. And that's why I got mad, because she gave away the painting back to the grandma, because that was them depicted in the picture. I'm like, why would you do that? Why? But that's just me.
Yeah. I think I really liked my favorite moments weren't even like the romance itself. I loved seeing her with the foster mom, them just like sitting on the couch drinking tea. I loved the scene of her and Jenna sitting on the couch and Jenna looking at the painting and her being like, you are so into Evan. And then like the scene where the brother is trying to get to the bottom of the track runner, and he had talked to the foster mom, and she's like, give him what teenage you would have needed. And so we go to the practice or whatever, and Sherry's
so
there
sweet.
to like kind of babysit the sister while he gets to do his thing. Like, I just loved those moments where we got to see them being there for each other. I was just like, I could watch this and like leave the romance part out of it. I mean, he's gorgeous, but I don't know. I just felt like that was so much stronger than the romance was for me, like their familial bond. But then I guess in the end, he says like, I've always wanted to be a part of a big family. So in a way, it is kind of like him coming into this like really strongly built family, which was nice, I think.
It is interesting that like the strongest parts of the movie weren't really the romance. Which I feel like in some movies, I cannot stand that. That's not what I want. Like, I want the romance to be front and center. But I don't know. For some reason in this one, I just didn't mind. I think because I loved them so much, I just didn't mind that the kind of found family story what felt stronger to me than the romance storyline. I do want, and you know what else is kind of nice? It's kind of nice that like, if you watch the whole series, you don't really have to like let this couple go at the end of watching the movie. Like hopefully we'll continue to see them. Like I want to see some double dates. I want to see them popping in, being at dinner, you know? So I would like to see them in the next couple movies
Yeah, because we didn't see Jenna's
as a
boo
couple.
in this one, but
I
when I watched
know,
the
that
preview
bummed
for the
me
next
out.
one, it looks like
Yeah.
he's in the next one.
Right.
So I hope,
And-
yeah, I agree. I hope we get to see it.
And I agree with you, ladies, because we talk about these series. This could have been a perfect, a new addition to a series like Hearts Around the Table, and really dive deep into like the story about foster care and just also about love and just having it tight knit family, kind of like the Fosters, like on like ABC channel / Freeform. Like this could have been our version for Hallmark, and
Yeah.
we have that awareness for foster care in our country, not only here but across the world, about how we do with foster care, how people come in and just really pay that homage in a sense, and just really just educate our viewers. And for me, I'm part of like the foster care system though, but more of a what's the word? It's for kinship wise, where I have other friends who have been through foster care, either had to hop through different homes or found their permanent home and got adopted. So this is kind of like a way of having the conversations, like the heart around the table. Like it doesn't matter, who you are, your family, your background. We're still family, and we have a heart, and we're there for you. And hopefully, Hallmark hears us and actually listen. Like, hey, it's a 4-part series for a movie. Turn this into a series. This would be a great way to bring the family around the table, just having a great time, just either 30 minutes or to an hour watching the series and just really just diving in. I don't care if you bring it up to like 7 seasons. Like this is a great way to not only add in new talent to coming into the series for Hallmark, but also getting them into new movies. This is a great funnel for everybody. I think this would be a great way to bridge the gaps that we're missing on our network.
I'm looking up, I was like, who wrote it? So Paula Tiberius, have y'all heard of her? She wrote the first movie. I'm interested to see if she wrote Sherry's movie as well. Okay, I'll look that up.
It's Neil Kamel.
Oh, so it's different writers for each movie.
Yeah, and this person's a writer and actress.
Okay, interesting. So do you think when they do that changes things a little bit? Like, do you think that's I mean, I know they do it like in way more than we probably realize. I know they do it in the book world all the time, but like, do you think that's a good idea?
I think
they have writers on soap operas.
More continuity if it's the same person.
Third one is Josh's third serving. I want to know who. I'll look and see who pulled
that title. Why are we doing that?
I
that
know.
Title is so. Could we do something else for Josh?
Sherry's was fine, but I was like, second act makes me think she's like an actress or something, and
yeah, that is true.
So like, and he's like a track coach. So what's that got to do with? I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Third helping. I was like, or third serving. I was like, what? What are we doing here?
So we may have touched on this a little bit, but maybe not. Anne, start with you. What were your thoughts on the chemistry and or the romance between Sherry and Evan? What did you think?
I mean, I think they have chemistry. I mean, like there's no forest burning down or anything, but I mean, I think that they do have some chemistry, which is good. And I mean, I like the moments that they gave us. Like you said, not that much happens, but they kind of gave us like they're doing the shared project, at least for 10 minutes, a shared project of trying to convert the like gallery space of the what is it called?
The shared space?
Oh, the co-op, the shared space, yeah.
The shared space of the co-op. They're like doing that together. And so, they kind of have the little pizza, date, and then they have the antiquing together, and then they have the paint and sip and the auction. So they did give us like several things where they're together, which I always like to see them be together and do different things. So I did think that was good. The chemistry's decent. It's not great, but it's, it's passable for me. So yeah.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Merch Store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, hearty, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/hallmarkies. Jazzy, what did you think?
For me, it started in my perspective, started off really strong until the conflict hit. I just wish that we got more because I enjoyed the other characters, side characters, like, dilemmas, but I wanted more. And their chemistry for me on my end was good until that conflict, which that was like unnecessary. It was just like, why are you mad at Evan? Like, he's trying to like hear your thoughts and stuff. Like, he cares about you, okay? Like, sure, if you don't want him, I can take him for you, okay? Because you were dropping the ball, okay? Your ex-husband over there in Singapore sporting an 80s Jerry curl for no dang reason, and I'm just sitting here wondering, like, you have a second chance, and you over here fumbling a second chance. Not only is he like a blue collar worker, he also owns another business. Okay, in the words of Savannah's mama, Savannah is a good man.
Yep, that's a good man, Savannah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I guess I felt that there was chemistry there. I don't really feel like it was a movie about her falling in love with Evan. I just don't think it was a movie about that.
I can see that. I also felt like their chemistry was the strongest at the beginning, and then it kind of tapered off. Because I liked the phone call, meet cute situation. Like, I thought that was funny. And then even when they meet at her loft, there's like immediate chemistry. Like, they can barely talk to each other. They're just like staring at each other. And
agreed.
So I thought it started off with like some pretty strong chemistry, but then it kind of tapered out a little as the movie went on.
Do you think I think that it's not a fault of theirs. I think it was the script.
Yeah, it's the story.
Yeah.
It's the story. There was a lot, like we talked about, there were these moments of conflict that didn't quite make sense. There were the things that we loved, like the moments with her family. So it just wasn't, the focus wasn't on them.
Yeah, it was
a whole lot.
Like her second chance, like in all of what that included, like her art, coming back to be close to her family, plus just she happened to meet this person. But I think it was really just more like her, new beginning.
So why the heck have the scene? And Tamara was in a Christmas movie, I think this past Christmas season, but it may have been the one before, where she was a single mom. It was this past one. Mm-hmm. And when her ex shows up, I stopped watching. I was like, why?
Yeah.
And in this one, the ex calls, and I was like, why? Like,
unnecessary.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Glad he didn't also show up, but I just think it's so unnecessary. Like, why? Like, just why? Why are we wasting, 4 or 3 minutes on this? Like, why?
If it's about her like moving on, why have that brief moment where we see her on the phone with the ex? It does nothing for the story. Nothing.
Unless he showed up in person, then I could take him seriously, but I could not take him seriously.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if they had kids, maybe, but I don't know. I was like, I don't like it. I did not like it. Jazzy?
It also felt like out of the blue to me because we didn't like, of course they would talk about her divorce and her starting over, but we didn't really know the circumstances around her divorce or the circumstances around her marriage or anything. So it felt out of the blue that he would even be featured, like it never felt like she was still pining for him, and there was still like a shot at their relationship. So it just felt out of the blue that he was just calling to say hey. just calling because he didn't know what else to do. It was just like, what?
Yeah.
Thanks for just like ruining my day. I was fine until you called.
I actually, when I was watching it, Bree, when I was watching that scene in my head, I'm like, Bree's gonna hate this. When that scene
so
happened.
bad. You knew.
Yeah, I
hated
knew.
it.
I was like, Bree is gonna hate this.
I hated it. I hated it. Because, I mean, as somebody going through this, that is what gets me the most. And I think maybe it just struck a chord because the last couple weeks I've had those days where I'm like, okay, I'm moving on. I'm fine. Like, I'm in a good headspace. Like, you just try to get, I mean, in my own personal experience, I'm like, please just let me get used to life now. And then we'll handle all the big D word stuff when we can do that. And so you'll have these moments where like that person just like crashes into your life with nonsense and you're like, "Oh my god, I was doing so good." Like, why are you taking me there? So that moment I was like, "Why did you have to call?" It did nothing.
Did nothing.
It didn't add anything. It didn't at all.
I feel like I wanted more. Like I wanted more. I wanted them to have their own personal paint session. That one I thought was missing. They need their own personal one-on-one paint session where he didn't know how to paint, but he could have taught her. It could have been cute, but they had the paint in sip. But I want that to be one-on-one where they're actually painting on each other and then they're so close to kiss till someone's phone rings. But that didn't happen.
That's a little risque.
A little risque. We could have a fun one, like not like I'm just saying.
It would have been rated G, but yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been a G version, you guys. G version, but still, it would have fun.
Our little hopeless romantic Jazzy.
I'm just
I
saying.
can see that though, like having some more romantic dates, because they weren't that romantic, right? Like the antique shop, that big old painting of that cat with the pizza, like
for me, like they could have been, how they went to go get the paint, like new paint sets for her and stuff like that. I wanted to see them actually in the little paint shop, like really just joking about what type of paint colors they love and like why this resonated with them. Like I want that type of chemistry in that sense.
I'm trying to figure out, I've never been to DC, but like how does one make a living in DC as a painter? I mean, we are living in the time of inflation.
Where's her money coming from?
I'm
like, girl, how you affording these clothes? It must be the divorce settlement. I don't know, or Hallmark magic.
Got to come a little bit more realistic with these jobs because the girls are struggling out here.
I know, and that loft was like huge. I was like, "What? Where is this?
Like, how much to pay for this loft?
Cannot be DC."
Loft was nice though. I will think about myself like, note to self: I want a loft.
Right. Period. But not in today's economy. Not yet.
No. I have to buy a loft in order to live there.
Oh my God. We got to stop with the painter and cupcake shop owner. Like, what are the girls have to have 2 jobs to afford?
Okay, let's keep it real. It's 2 jobs now. We need to find a Hallmark leading lady who has 2 jobs. Make it real, y'all. Make it real.
Yeah.
And also the family home on the water.
Yeah.
Hello?
Generational wealth.
That was expensive.
Yeah, Miss Ange paid that off a couple of years ago.
She sure did.
After years of paying on it.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, fun fact. I just found out the same writer who wrote for Sherry's second act, she also wrote the 4th act as well for Kiki's 4th ingredient.
Oh, that'll be interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think it's fun. I just think depending on, like, if you're a rom-com writer, your tone's going to be different than this movie's tone is. And then that's where the Hallmark watchers and reviewers who don't want to watch the Black movies come in and are like, this one was so boring. I just think it's tricky when you have different writers on it. It could be a fun idea, but I think you want to have writers that write similar, maybe. I don't know, but I'll be waiting for it. I am actually really excited because I love Stephanie Bennett and she's the love interest in the next movie. So I'm like, I'm going to watch for her. And then of course, Catherine.
Cute. Yeah.
Catherine's is the 4th one. So we have to watch. And hers is an interracial romance, which I think is going to be really sweet.
Yeah.
So any final thoughts, Dory? You want to kick us off with final thoughts?
I think that I really liked I did think this movie and I think this series has a lot of heart, which I really appreciate. Like I just felt like content and happy while watching it. And it's been a while since I've felt that from a Hallmark movie, to be honest. I am, of course, disappointed that it has taken us this long to be able to gather and discuss a movie with two black leads. I think that's such a bummer. It's been months. But I think that, as usual, I would ask that Hallmark do more and give us more. I mean, I feel like my pleas have fallen on deaf ears for the past decade, but I will not stop saying it anyway. So, more please is, to sum it up, more please.
Yeah. Yeah. Jazzy, final thoughts?
My final thoughts will come from the great Angie Hartman she's the mother of all the children in this series. And what she told Sherry was this: sometimes life gets so busy that we don't get to put our spirits first. And that resonated with me as one of those gems in the movie. And I just sat there because Sherry's going through, the second act, as you will, of her life, where she's going to refine her love for, of her painting of her muse of life. And it made me sit there wondering, I can't put off the things that I love to do or my passion of what I want to do. So as I sit there and watch the movie, I told myself, you know what? I will commit to finishing one of my books. I will commit to that and have her read it so she can proofread it because she's the best English
Send
teacher
it to
ever.
me, girl. Send it to me. Anne, any final thoughts?
I really do appreciate about this series of 4 movies that all the characters actually in the movies, and they're not just on FaceTime or calling them, but they're actually physically there, which makes it just feel more real and like a family. So I do really like that. It just feels better than a lot of some of the other ones that they've done. And yeah, I think this one feels different because it's just that I don't know, maybe because we never have movies about foster kids and they're from different backgrounds and they're not all the same race and it just feels different. And I just really like the way that, how this family felt. And yeah, it would be awesome if it was a 10-episode series or something. Then you could really, get into, all these relationships, friendships, and romantic relationships. So yeah, I think they did a good job. Whether they bought it or made it themselves, I think it was definitely a different, something different, which I'd like to see.
Yeah, I wish they would have done this as a series. I still dream of the day when they give us a series. I want a series following men that are a group, a couple of guy friends trying to date, later on in life or whatever. And I'm dreaming for that. Antonio, Luke can be in it, Andrew Walker can be in it. I want that. But I think this would have been a perfect series. But taking that out of it, I think my favorite part, I love that the siblings get along. There's no beef. There's no familial drama. They're so rock solid. And I just love seeing their relationships together. At the end, when Evan shows up and you hear the brother, let him in.
I love that.
That is so the brother,
Yeah.
And then there's a kid there. Is he one of Angela's new foster kids?
Yeah, he's one of her newer foster children, and he's heavily in the first movie. So
Okay.
Watch that one to kind of get more of his story.
Okay. I was like, oh my gosh, who is he? I love this.
No.
So I don't know. I think it was worth a watch, listeners. If you have listened, if you've watched, hit us up and let us know what you thought of Sherri's second act. If you watched the first one, let us know what you thought of that. If you have predictions for the next two, we would love to hear what you think of those as well. We thought it was a good time, let us know what you thought of the conflict at the end as well, since that's like the one part I think that threw all of us for the most part off. And yeah, let us know what you thought of Sherry and Evan.
And after you watch or listen to this podcast, there will be a podcast reviewing the other 3 movies that Rachel's going to be doing. So you can look out for that in a couple weeks when the series is over. And let's see where you can follow everybody. So where can people follow you, Dory?
You can find me at All the Feels Pod on Twitter /X.
And where can people find you, Brie?
Good luck. I'm places, but I'm not really there. I'm mostly on Instagram at
Good
Brie.
luck.
Fashionly, I have become horrible, guys. It's an exhausting year, and
social media is hard right now too. Like, you have a lot going on, and social media is tough at the moment.
It is tough. So, and I deal with like 12-year-olds all day, and I'm in competition with social media every day. And so sometimes I'm there. Brie unabashedly. Come say hi.
And Jasmine, where can people follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter /X at Shareem16, SHREEM16. And just to give a shout out to Brie, your outfits be on point each week. Just saying.
Thank you.
And 2, if you guys are wondering where have I been not watching Hallmark movies, I've been a grandma. Well, I've been an auntie now. I'm watching soaps now. So I'm watching my new favorite show called Beyond the Gates. You should watch it. It's the all black cast.
I've heard of that.
It eats down, you guys. The drama, it's everything. Like, you can literally catch me on X /Twitter. The tea is hot. Some of the actors who play these characters actually retweets us, chat with us online. It's good, you guys. Good.
Dory and Ann, have y'all been watching anything? I mean, since the listeners never get to hear us talk together. Have y'all been watching anything else? Like Jazzy's watching Beyond the Gates, which I have heard of. I heard it's amazing. What have y'all been watching?
I am just knee deep in cozy mystery series. That's all I'm watching.
I did see that Hallmark Plus is adding like some British mysteries.
They do. They added this one called Rosemary and Thyme. It's so funny. Mel texted me. Mel, my All the Feels co-host. I always say my All the Feels co-host like she's not one of my best friends. My friend Mel texted me, and she said she was talking about how Hallmark Plus has just added all these cozy mystery shows, and one of them is called Rosemary and Thyme, about these 2 women who start a gardening business and solve mysteries, of course. And I've watched it on BritBox because I got BritBox late last year. And so I've been watching all of these mystery shows. I got Acorn TV. I can't be stopped.
Oh, wow.
I cannot be stopped.
Man.
Dory the Sleuth.
And shout out to Angela, Dory the Sleuth.
You're going to be somebody's got to write your story. The podcaster who, starts solving cozy.
Yes. Yes. Maybe I'll write it. Who knows?
You should write it.
But our friend Angela, who is so sweet and is so supportive of us all and always listens, she is a huge mystery fan too. And she sent me a giant list of all these shows to watch and where to find them. And so I've just been checking shows off of Angela's list. That's what I do every weekend. So thank you, Angela.
I love that.
Oh, that's funny. I'm still watching K-dramas because there's like hundreds of thousands of K-dramas.
Talk about drama. Those are so good.
Yeah, they are really good. There's a lot of like fun romantic ones, and there's a lot of like melodramatic ones. There's a lot of different ones. There's also like thriller ones. I don't usually watch those. I usually stick to like the rom-com or the melodrama depending on my mood. But yeah, there's just so many. And they're very like very heavily romance focused. So yeah, I really like those. I'm still watching a lot of those. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Make sure you're following the podcast at Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast all over social media. If you're listening on iTunes, please leave us your rating and review. And if you're listening on YouTube, please give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe to our channels. Most of our people who watch our YouTube are not subscribed, so please make sure you subscribe. And we also have a Patreon group, and you can join for as low as $2 a month. And we have a merch store with TeePublic that has new designs, so you can also check that out. So we hope there will be a movie that we can talk about on Hallmark, or we will find something else to talk about if they don't put out a movie with black leads in the next several months. Which don't hold your don't hold an eyebrow.
Not looking likely.
We'll be lucky if we get one on the Christmas list. So yeah.
Basically, guys, we'll see you when we see you.
Yeah, see you in a year.
I'm rooting for summer or fall. I'm rooting so bad.
Yes, I hope so. I really do hope. We'll see. But we will see you guys, talk to you guys next time, and hope you have a wonderful spring, and hope to talk to you sometime in the summer.
Bye.